All right, SLC USA tennis. We are going to work on our racket sports. Tennis is going to be the sport that I'm going to use to show you how to use a racket properly, how to use your body to get the most power and to have an accurate swing. The fundamentals of a swing do not change. The way you hold the racket or the bat or the golf club is the only thing that's going to change. Is exactly where you are going to be holding the item. Whatever you're using, whether it be a club, a racket, or a baseball bat, you still have to be able to release your core muscles to get the most power and to be accurate. You can direct the ball much easier if you're able to rotate your shoulders and essentially point your shoulder or your energy in the direction that you want to go. With the ball or bat or golf ball, what have you, it's really the same fundamentals. So I wanted to come to you on a tennis court because tennis is a sport that has different surfaces. This is going to be a hard surface, probably the least favorable for your joints and your body. When you're doing a workout on any type of tennis court, you want to try to find the softest surface, either a clay or a grass. Those are really nice, but if all you have is the typical hard surface, it's better than nothing, and really you just want to make sure that you're moving. And if you find that you like the racket sports, then you just want to try to spend as much time on the softer surfaces. It's just overall going to be better for your body. So let's start with just the fundamentals of the sport of tennis or any type of sport that involves hitting a ball when it's moving. You have to have good tracking skills. There's really no better way to develop There's really no better way to develop tracking skills than with catching the ball, following the ball, or a balloon in the air. And juggling is one of the best ways I've found to really enhance your coordination and your eye-hand coordination, as well as just your overall tracking skills. So just a quick juggling class. Remember, you want the balls across in the middle, 1, 2, and then you add the third, and you are juggling. But what I want to show you is how you can do the same thing going down. Since we're doing tennis and we are going to be playing a sport where the ball's going to be coming from the ground, we need to work on our tracking skills from the ground to the middle of our focus, right? So the way you can juggle on the ground is the same way as you juggle in the air. You start with one ball and you're going to be crossing in the middle. So you want to have your point in front of you, and you don't want to throw it down. You want to give it a little bit of a push to the other hand. Find that perfect bounce. This is a much easier thing to work on with a bouncy ball that is designed for this. Tennis balls are not really designed for catching so much as hitting. So I have my invisible spot right here. I'm hitting 1, 2. This helps with dribbling skills. I think this is a very important drill that anyone can do. And they're going to add a second ball. 1, 2. 1, 2. Whoop. And whenever you're doing any type of drills, anything that's going to be working on your athletic skills, make sure you always have an athletic stance. You want to have your feet always separated, where they're underneath your shoulders and you're on your toes, so that you can move quickly. 1, 2. 1, 2. You can do it, you can do it. So working on your tracking skills from the surface to your focus area. You want to start with one ball. You want to start with the simple, almost like a dribble, drop, but with a push so the ball will come back to your hand. Don't worry about not keeping your head up. For this drill, you're really working on your tracking. You're trying to get your brain to track the ball better. So it's a matter of training your brain to track the ball. You want to try to get really fast with the dribble type of practice. And then if you can start to cross it, it's even better. When you cross, you want to make sure, just like with dribbling, that you're trying to find that invisible spot in between your center. So the ball will go right to your other hand. And then you can add a second ball, which is significantly more challenging. And then you can add a third ball, which makes it even more difficult. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not easy, but it's great for developing these skills. So you can play games with balloons where you have your kids catch the balloon in the air. This is great, more advanced tracking practice. A great way to advance from just catching a balloon or even catching a ball going back and forth would be to start working on being able to just easily bounce the ball right back to your hand, tracking it, and getting good at juggling. Now, I want to do a little workout just to kind of get warmed up with you, a little bit different than what we've done. I'm going to use a jump rope, which you've seen before, because I want to use a jump rope for this sport because I'm trying to get fast feet. I want to be able to move quickly side to side. I'm going to do my typical cone drills on the line. And I'm not going to do zigzagging because you don't really do that with tennis. It's more of sidestepping that you're going to be using a lot and being able to move backwards. So we're going to do front, back pedal, and sidestepping. And then I'll do I want to get warmed up with my legs. So I'm going to use a jump rope, and then I'm also going to use a stretch band. So I got my jump rope here. I'm going to use my jump rope, and the stretch band is great because you can get these in different, I guess, they're designed to create different resistances. So you can get a set that will have, a real low resistance to a very strong resistance. And that's super because you can then do sets using these. And I believe that anything that is mobile and easy to bring with you to a nice environment, that's going to help you to be consistent with your exercise. So I highly recommend this over barbells. And if anything, if you want to have a weight, to get like a 20-pound medicine ball or sand ball would, I think, be much preferable over barbells because you can throw the ball around. It just ends up being more fun. You're in a more unstable type of situation with these more fluid types of tools are going to keep your body having to adjust. So you're using muscles that you wouldn't otherwise when you're stationary. So that's important. All right, so I'm going to do my little workout. So I want you to notice how I'm doing my side steps and keeping my feet always apart, and I'm never letting them touch. I'm keeping my nose over my toes, knees bent, so I'm very balanced. I want you to pay attention to how, when I'm running, I'm using my shoulders. Well, I'm rotating my shoulders rather. I'm not doing a shimmy. I'm rotating my shoulders. And when I backpedal, the same thing. I want to stay loose. So, in fact, I'm going to even start with some stretching, just quick stretching, just to kind of make sure I'm as loose as possible, and then I'm going to go for my little workout. All right, let's get warmed up. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be running to the net and backpedaling back, and then I'm going to sidestep to the net, sidestep back, and then I'm going to run. I'm going to do this 5 times. It's the same repetitive drill. I'm just trying to get my legs warmed up and get my body moving the direction it needs to move. I'm going to move down the line. The line is going to be my guide, so I can use that as I'm making my way backwards when I'm doing my backpedaling. I'll be able to see where I am because I'll be able to, with my peripheral vision and even looking down a little bit without pushing my head down, I can look down, I can see the line. So I want to be able to move fast, know where I am on the court without having to turn my head down. I always want to keep my head up, always want to have an athletic stance, okay? Sorry. Now remember, this is the most important part, is you want to stay really relaxed. Make sure that your muscles are not tense when you're doing any type of sports, when you're getting warmed up especially. So if you got to stretch up. All right, remember, now for the jump rope, it's all about getting into a rhythm. Rhythm is really important in sports. So whenever you're trying to run or jump or just, really as you advance, the more of a rhythm you have, the better you're going to do. You'll be able to see things develop that you otherwise would miss if you're not relaxed. I think, all right, for the jump rope, remember, it's all about rhythm. So you want to allow yourself to kind of count, or in your mind, just keep pace. Every time it hits the ground, then you're going to develop a rhythm. That's how you're able to maintain the jump rope. You have to have rhythm for all sports. Rhythm meaning that when you're running or swimming are good examples of, in your mind, you'll have like a metronome or a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You want to get in a rhythm. Just like that. My resistance band. There's lots of different ways that you can use this. You use your imagination. I am going to work from the ground up because I'm going to get the most tension. If I start with holding it by my foot, again, always try to have an athletic stance. get in that good habit. Make it stretch up. Twist. This is the tennis movement or swing, right? When I'm doing this, I'm getting resistance from the band. I'm developing muscles that I couldn't otherwise. And here, the further down I grip it, the more resistance I'm going to have. So I'm going to pull it up, turn, keeping my head straight, turning my shoulders, trying to develop my core muscles so that my swing can be very relaxed and have a lot of power, because muscles are being utilized only when you're doing that motion. So I'm holding it lower for less resistance for this turn, just because it hurts. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Try to do 10 of whatever exercise you're doing as a rule. So I'm just switching feet so that I can work the other side of my body. It's better to grip it like this, your thumbs up, it's just more comfortable. Lots of different ways to use a band, but that's the way I'm going to use it for